Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to another episode of Nufftingz Speaks with your host, Nufftingz. So, I don't know where to begin this video, but we're going to talk about some stuff. I've been doing videos on this for the last 2 days, and I do not know how to do this. I don't know which one to put up, but hopefully this one is the one I'm going to do. So, yesterday, I got terminated from Pokemon Go. And if you're one of those haters that come onto my videos and just hate for no reason, you're probably happy as hell. You're probably jumping around like, yeah. But anyways, so I got terminated without any reasons, nothing. It just says that I didn't follow terms of service, and it gave me like 500 reasons that it could be, right? But no one told me anything. Okay, fine. So when I tried to get into the game, because this is before I even found out, it was like, you've been terminated. Now, mind y'all, this is my first offense. I've never been suspended. I've never had any issues before, but I got terminated. Now, there's a couple things I want to talk about with this. And the first thing is, if you came onto my videos and you were hating, you're a ding dong, because there was a reason why I was saying what I was saying. The reason why I was saying certain things was because it was true. What I was talking about wasn't stuff that I just woke up one day and said, hey, I'm gonna make this up. No. This was stuff that was actually going on. And what I don't understand with people is that if you have your own community, right, and it acts a certain way, why do you think that my community would act the exact same way? We do not have the same people as you. The people we have are different than what you have, right? Now, we also have to take into effect that there's been a lot of speculation, rumors, allegedly, that there's been many communities where ambassadors have been, what's the word here that I can say? Stalking community members or following them to home, or there's been a lot of things like that I've heard, right? I was actually going to do a video on it, and I was doing this a lot of research and finding out there was a lot of messed up stories going on in a lot of communities, but I decided not to. I wish I did, because look what Niantic did. Now, there's also another thing I saw today. I saw that Niantic got not monitored, got nominated for an award. Sorry if you see me like stuttering. My landlord is like vacuuming and they're making all this noise and talking to their dog, so it's like messing up my thought process. But anyways, so Niantic, Scopely, they got nominated for an ambassador award. So before anything, I have a script here, so I'm going to read it to y'all. This is going with what I'm going to talk about. Before I start, I want to be clear about something. Everything I'm about to say is based on public information and observable patterns from the community side. This is not an accusation, and I'm not naming individuals. I am not claiming insider knowledge. What I'm talking about is structure, oversight, and silence, not personal wrongdoing. Okay. So the Pokemon Go Ambassador program, the missing overseer, the frozen applications, and the monetized award. Let me explain something clearly, because a lot of people are confused and some people are pretending not to be. This is not about local ambassadors stepping down. This is not about community drama, and this is not about speculation. This is about structure, oversight, and what happens when silence lasts too long. First of all, what role are we actually talking about? There was a centralized internal role or small internal team under Niantic whose job was to review new Pokemon Go community ambassador applications, approve or deny new regions, handle escalations when a community had no ambassador, right? Monitor ambassador activity and compliance, act as the gatekeeper for the program globally. This was not a volunteer. This was not a local ambassador. This was a company-side oversight role. Most communities never knew who this person was because they weren't public-facing. Communication happened quietly in the background. Decisions showed up as approvals, rejections, or long periods of silence. The role mattered because without it, nothing moves. Okay. What changed when Pokemon Go was acquired? When Scopely acquired Pokemon Go and Niantic's live game operations, Niantic split into two paths. Games, Scopely. AR and mapping, Niantic Spatial. Community programs, including the Ambassador program, landed in a gray area. Ownership of community oversight became unclear. And here's the important part. That ambassador overseer role appears to have left, been removed, or never been replaced. There was no public announcement, no transition post, no handoff explanation, just silence. Third, what happened after that? This is where patterns matter. Across multiple regions and communities, the same things started happening. No new ambassador applications stopped. New ambassador applications stopped moving. No approvals, no rejections, no follow-ups, no response for months, no removal of inactive ambassadors, no escalation path for communities without leadership. That doesn't happen when a system is active. That only happens when there is no one left reviewing applications. That is what a frozen pipeline looks like. Okay? Now, was someone fired? There is no public confirmation that anyone was fired. And that's important to say correctly. But here's the reality. The role was internal. The role wasn't publicly documented. The role likely existed under Niantic, not Scopely. Acquisitions often eliminate, merge, or pause roles like this. So whether the person was let go, was reassigned, or left voluntarily, the outcome is the same. The role is no longer visibly active and the program has no clear owner. From the outside, the effect is indistinguishable from termination. Okay. Why hasn't this been Why hasn't this been addressed publicly? Because from a business perspective, ambassador programs do not generate direct revenue. They require human oversight. They are expensive to manage properly, and they don't affect short-term monetization. During acquisitions, revenue systems get priority. Events and monetizations get priority. Community infrastructure often gets delayed. That's not an opinion. That's how corporate transitions work. Okay, here's where it gets uncomfortable. Despite all of that, frozen applications, silent oversight, communities with no leadership, inactive ambassadors still listed, the Pokemon Go Ambassador program has been publicly promoted and tied to a monetized or sponsored award or recognition. Let that sink in, y'all. The branding side of the program is active. The operational side appears frozen. Why that matters? This creates a very real contradiction. You are celebrating and promoting the program, you are attaching recognition and monetization to it, but communities cannot enter the program and existing issues cannot be corrected. This tells us something important. The program is being treated as a marketing asset, not a fully functioning community system. Awards are easy, governance is hard. Okay, why communities feel stuck? This explains what people are experiencing, why applications go unanswered, why inactive ambassadors remain listed, why leadership gaps stay unresolved, why there's no communication, why players feel ignored. It's not because communities aren't trying, it's because there appears to be no one left holding the keys. Now, this is not an accusation. Sorry, what did I say? This is not an accusation. I want to be clear again. I thought it was accusation. I was like, what the hell? I can't even write. This is not accusing anyone of wrongdoing. This is not naming people. It's not alleging misconduct. It's pointing out structural failure caused by organizational change. And that is a fair thing to talk about. Now, my final summary for this. There was a central overseer for the Pokemon Go Ambassador program. The role appears to be gone. Applications appear globally frozen. Oversight has been silent for months. At the same time, the program continues to be promoted and monetized through awards. That disconnect is real, communities are feeling it, and pretending it isn't happening doesn't help anyone. Okay, now, that's me talking about them getting an award or getting nominated for an award for doing absolutely nothing. Okay, now we're going to talk about my situation. Now, my situation runs a little deep. Now, I got banned, terminated, without any reasons. They never told me why. They never said, hey man, we heard this, we heard that. None of that. Now, I'm going to go further into this because there's been people that have commented on my videos and have been blaming me. Now, let me tell you something, okay? Before I even started playing, my community was being run by different people. When the big YouTuber that came out here 2 years ago, when he came out, he was looking for a character whose in-game name is Jack the Ripper. That's literally his in-game name, right? None of us knew who he was. Not a clue who this guy was. When this YouTuber came, he was looking for him, couldn't find him. The person that was pretty much doing stuff for the community was me, but I was just starting. I was a rookie, right? It wasn't the guy you see now, it was somebody else, right? It was a rookie that didn't know what he was doing. When this PokeTuber came, he was looking for a homeboy, couldn't find him, right? Because what he was doing was he was going to all the communities and he was looking for the people hosting the meetups for Campfire. Because Campfire was just starting. It was just the beginning of what was going on, right? So this person could not be found, right? Now, I've since talked to this person and he has, I don't know, it's a guy. He has stated that he doesn't want to come because the community is so toxic. He doesn't want to have nothing to do with it and whatever. Cool. He then said to me, do what you got to do. If you need to run it, run it. Now, during this time, we had another ambassador, and she was the first one in Mississauga ever. And she appeared, and she did what she could, and then she just totally effed off after. Like, seriously, like, she did what she could. Now, when I think about it, it could be because Mississauga is so toxic, right? It could be because no matter what positive stuff we try to bring to the community, people just destroy it because they do not want change, right? So she backed out. Now, we all sat there and we blamed her, but now I'm starting to think now that maybe she had reasons, because even before me, and now mind you, I've been in this game for almost 4 years now. Before me, there was other people trying to strengthen the community. They're all gone, right? If you really look at it, was I the problem or is it just the city? If it's just the people in the city, if it's, because look, I was doing serious business for this city, right? I wanted, a Go Fest out here. I wanted all these positive things, right? Like when I started to do stuff, more kids were coming, right? When people found out yesterday that I got terminated, I started getting messages. I started getting texts. I started getting, messages on Campfire. Got messages on Instagram. People were not happy about it, right? I've had people even say to me that they don't even want to come to Mississauga anymore. They want to go to Brampton because Mississauga is so toxic. I have people saying to me, they don't want to get messed with because they're supporters of me. Then I got someone else telling me, bro, that majority of the OGs were reporting you to Niantic. And I'm like, word? I had no idea. Apparently, the guys that run the show, spent all the money on the game out here, they decided that they didn't like how I was doing things and decided to cry to Niantic, right? So now people are starting to say, well, it was probably so-and-so. It was probably so-and-so. And they're starting to point fingers, right? I don't care who did it. I don't know why you did it to begin with. What are you mad about? What is it that you're so upset about concerning me? Because I didn't back down. I wasn't going to sit there and be like, no, it's okay. I was going to tell you the truth. Everything that I've ever said, even when I was dogging Niantic for what they were doing in the game, or, glitches or things that would help the community, like the 300-meter glitch, when I was saying that things like that could have just been left in, y'all took it out. So that's the negativity you're talking about. What is it? So so let me show you something. All right. So if Niantic said to me, all right, we heard that you sexually harassed somebody, right? Wouldn't that be a course for a police? Because then police would come, they would investigate, see what's going on, whatever. Niantic has given me no reason. Now, no, mind you, I didn't sexually harass anybody. But mind you, I'm just giving you this example, right? Why is it that Niantic can just terminate you and not tell you why? That, you see what I'm saying? which company terminates and doesn't give you a reason when it comes to video games, especially a game where you pay and do. It wasn't like I was just sitting there being free to play. I literally was putting money in there. My account has been terminated, and I've have 4,000 coins sitting in my box, 300 green passes. I have my bag space is filled, right? So this is stuff that I spent money on, right? So I play another game, a Dragon Ball game, right? When there was a glitch in the game and they started to ban everybody, they didn't ban me, but they were banning all these people. And what they did was the people that put money in the game, they unbanned them because they need them to spend money. You know what some of those players did? They reached out to Google and got their money back. So they got a huge payout from Google, which then, I don't know if they're insured at this point, but I think it really messed up the game. Now, if Niantic can just do that, can't we just call Google, or no, I keep saying call. Can't we just reach out to Google and get back the money we put in the game because the termination, there's no reason behind it. There's no proof. Just because people reported me doesn't mean it's true. So if I randomly say, this person did something, they get banned. Now, mind you, if it was more than one person, why don't you investigate it? Like, it's beneath you to investigate the problem. Like, you don't sit there and say, yo, hold on. Why are these people reporting? And here's the other thing. There's a guy out here that does report stuff, right? He reports people in the game that take over gyms and whatever, right? And he reports nonstop. Like, this guy went as far as to report a gym and get rid of the gym because he didn't like where it was. So why doesn't Niantic at this point investigate? Like, even like with that, like, it's a minor thing. But if someone says they don't want a gym, how come they don't reach out to the community, do something to find out if the gym should, like, have like a vote system where it's like, okay, do you want this gym gone or do you not want it gone? Like, what do you choose? And have the people vote. But you see, that's too much work, right? You want to have a community game without the community involvement, really, right? So you have me now who is getting terminated for no, like, and look, people are probably going to be like, oh, you spoof. No, I don't. The Indian glitch, the rupees glitch. I don't do that either. The 300-meter glitch. When we found out that you couldn't do it anymore, like they would ban you, I stopped right there. You can ask anyone in my community. I stopped right away while they were all still doing it, right? You could sit there and say, well, what if you have more than one account? Dude, I'm around people that have 6 phones, right? Why are they not banned? I'm not saying to ban them, but let's be real here. You talk about terms of service, like, you don't want people to have 2 phones. So why? Like, what's wrong with having 2 phones? So if I'm holding my phone and playing the game, and then I have another phone that is, my girlfriend's or my kids, I can't do that. Like, they were so adamant that when you take a community pick, you can't have people holding 2 phones. Like, who cares? Like, why is that a term? So you're telling me that you can't have multiple accounts? So, like, but wouldn't that be good for you? That keeps your player base up? If you have someone with 9 phones, that's 9 phones on your player base. So when you look at your stuff at the end of the year and say, yo, we had 9 billion members, 9 billion people played the game. 9 of those were for that person. So, but what about when you see those pictures of those people with like a bike and there's like 10 phones on the bike, like, and all that? That's cool, right? Like, you don't have a problem with that? But you sitting there getting mad. Like, I don't get it, because what is the crying about? Like, what are these terms of service? They're stupid. Like, you are a game company that wants people to play the game, yet you do not want them to have more than one account. So what about those small communities that have like 5 people playing the game and they want to do a raid and they can't do it with the 5 people, and then you have someone with like 4 phones? Like, wouldn't you like to have those 4 extra bodies in there? I don't get it. What's the big deal? Like, so, okay, here's a question. Here's something for you. All right. There's a guy in our community, right? Really nice dude. And he has stage 4 cancer, right? He is trying his best, fighting every day, keeping himself alive, right? And eventually, hopefully not, he might pass, right? I have a friend that plays on his account when he goes out to do stuff, because he goes out, spends time with his family, because who knows how long he's going to be here. And she plays for him. Now, are we going to sit there and ban her because she's playing for a friend who's sick and is trying to get, like, to think about that, think of the priorities here for a second. Like, look, we can sit here and be like, oh, well, why does he care about Pokemon Go? Look, man, Pokemon Go is a hobby, right? People like having hobbies, right? You play the game, but you got some terminally ill, right? You got very ill. You don't know how long you're going to be here, but you want to spend time with your family. But you also don't want to miss out on Eternatus. You don't want to miss out on stuff like that. So you spend time with your family, and if a friend of yours is willing to play for you, why would that be a bannable offense? Think about it. Now, what if homeboy is gone? Can you not play on his account to keep his life going? What if you continue playing for him and then his kids decide they want to take the account? You give the kids the account. Now they have something to play with. Like, I have a friend who, he's not sick or anything, but he catches Pokemon on a burner account for his son, who he thinks is going to play eventually when he gets older. Not saying he is. So we're not allowed to do stuff like that. Like, this is such a silly thing to even be mad about. Like, I'm not saying that I'm doing it. I'm not saying that. I'm saying people get banned for the stupidest things and we don't even know why. Like, if they had said to me, hey, man, you did X, 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 I'd be like, oh, okay. Well, I didn't do that. So what do you, like, so where's the proof? Where are the receipts at? There's no proof of any of this. Just because a couple people are whining about something, you take that as whatever. Like, you see on Xbox, the Xbox is very big on banning people now for bullying, right? But what happens is, if you go on a mic and you're like in a group chat or whatever, and you say something silly, something bullying, right? And someone complains, they actually investigate and then ban you. Seriously. They look at the stuff, because what people do is they don't just look at it. They have to send them proof. So if someone calls someone a derogatory name and then they report it, they have to report the actual thing. They have to tell them what it is, why, and then they have to look at it, and then and if there's proof, they look at the proof, they whatever, and then they deal with it then. So you're telling me that Niantic can't do that? Like, so you can sit there and say, well, homeboy, we heard you were talking smack, but we're not going to tell you why. Okay, so you're banning me for what? Like, it's, I don't, the only thing that they could probably ban you for is drifting. But I can't help that. So as my game drifts, what am I supposed to do? Like, when I'm in square one, it drifts. Like, there's people that come there and they have to leave square one to be able to log in and then go back inside square one. So, not log in, but they have to, like, they drift to the point where the Pokestop's like 5 miles down the road. So they go back outside, and all of a sudden you see their character run down the street, and then they can go into the gym, then they come back inside, right? So, like, this is not because of anything like that. This has to be because somebody cried like a little baby and has an issue, right? Why are people so hateful? And this is what I was saying too about, like, this whole community. The streamer chick tried, it failed. The people before me tried, it failed. Why is it that there's so much people in my community that do not want to be at these events? They'd rather sit in their car, right? They don't want to interact with people. There's always some kind of argument. And, like, what is the problem here with people where they just can't get along? Now, a good chunk of people are fully invested in what I was doing. And now the whole thing is done because a couple OGs are sad. Like, because it wasn't what they wanted. You know, it's real easy to be mad about stuff when you don't need anything free because you Indians rupees glitch everything. You know what I'm saying? You go out there and you spend all types of money and get triple the amount of coins because you have the option to do so. Yet people that have real life situations and real life, you know, responsibilities don't do that and would like a free sticker, would like a free raid pass, would like a free plushie. And you just sit there and be like, well, I don't care because I have 3,000 green passes and 1,000,000 coins and I don't give a fuck. So that's really what it is, right? How come Niantic ain't fucking with y'all who are sitting there doing the whole Indians rupees glitch, right? How come they're not fucking with y'all who do all types of weird shit? Like, even when they said don't do the 300-meter glitch, y'all were still doing it. How come they're not complaining about y'all that hold on to gyms and never let the shit go? How much times have we talked about the gym meta where people are using bots to hold on to gyms? But we're not saying nothing about Instinct though, right? And what they're doing. But y'all mad at me for trying to strengthen the community. And what's even funnier is that the web store is still open for me. I can still buy stuff. Also, Campfire, I'm still in there. Like, I can still host events. So I can't play the game, but I can do the extra shit. I could pay money if I wanted to. I can also do Campfire meetups because I did one again. I hosted a meetup yesterday. People are like, how are you suspended or terminated if you can do all that? Also, let's not forget, I never got suspended before. I never got the 7-day ban for what that people get for spoofing. I never got the 30-day ban. I got the termination right away. So there was no lead up to anything. So I'm waiting for that email back, but I know they're going to mess with me. And I'm just like, you know what? Whatever, bro. Look, man, I'm going to be honest with y'all. I play video games. Pokemon took up a lot of time. If Pokemon Go wants to do me like this, bro, there's so many other games I could play. So they can sit there. The only thing that bothers me about this whole thing, besides what I've already said, I can't send over my Pokemon to home so I can use them in mainline games, which I do play, y'all. So, you know, if they ever let me know, I'll let y'all know. But as of now, who knows? Anyways, thank you for listening. Let's see if Niantic actually wins this award for their community ambassador, which they should have had. Because, like I said in that little script there, we've been sitting idly waiting to have more ambassadors. That thing is dead in the water, it seems like, and they're not even caring, and we're just sitting there waiting for a response. Like, they don't even care enough to let us know what's going on. Like, applications have just been sitting there, right? So eventually, hopefully they'll hire somebody and get that gets done. But, you know, until then, I don't know, man. Maybe we as people should look at this as like, yo, should we even play this game? I'm not saying not to play it. I'm saying, like, I'm starting to wonder now if all that time I wasted was actually wasted and it was in vain. Anyways, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.